I was a Marine for 10 years. I spent some time in Afghanistan, Iraq, Sarajevo. On 2 days before my 10-year mark, we were in a 3 Humvee convoy, and we were going down the road, and an IED went off when it hit our Humvee, and it blew up all 3 Humvees. There was 21 of us and 4 dogs in the 3 Humvee convoy. Me and my buddy William, the only ones to survive the whole entire explosion. Sorry, it's kind of hard to talk about. Live with. It's something that terrifies you at night when you're asleep. I dream about it a lot. Every time I dream about it, I wake up in cold sweats. It's been really rough as far as the PTSD and stuff like that goes. It's very hard to deal with. I've been homeless for 6 years, just traveling around the United States and seeing the country I fought for and got hurt for. Right here is where I sleep every night. I panhandle for my money so I can survive. Okay, this is Nitro. I found him in the backyard of an abandoned house in Houston, Texas, almost 3 years ago. When I found him, he was completely emaciated, malnourished. He weighed less than 10 pounds. He was about 4 months old. He had a chain embedded into the back of his neck, a bullet wound through his left ear. He was very, very sick. It cost me about $500 to take him to the vets and get him fixed up. And it was everything I had in my bank account. But I used it, and I've had him ever since, and I would never get rid of him. It's my pride and joy. I love him with all my heart.
I did a prison sentence, actually 2 state bids. It ruined my life. There's no coming back from that. You know, once you got that felony on your record, you're never gonna get a normal job, and you're never gonna be, you know, that pillar of society that everybody expects you to be. Oh, you're nobody. If I would have known this back then, maybe I wouldn't have been this way, but that's not true either, because, you know, my family was messed up. You know, my father died of an overdose when I was young, very young, 14. I lost my mother while I was in prison. My sister won't talk to me. You know, I have a son who's 20-something. He don't even want to know me. You know, there's just no family. There's no family. There's nobody for me to fall back on, nobody. I'm trying to get back on my feet all by myself, and it's so tough. It's so tough, man. I got Bella because I needed company. I was stressed out. I was on the street by myself. I just needed something, you know, to hang on to. You know, and she's like my little rock. You know, when I'm stressed out, she's always there. She's the light at the end of my tunnel.
Someone dropped her off with us at our apartment for a pet sit for Thanksgiving. She was 8 months old at the time. This was 7 years ago. They said they were going out of town for Thanksgiving, and they dropped her and 2 cats off and never came back. So, you know, and I obviously couldn't be happier about it now, because she's our baby. We were doing the dog walking for a while, and we kind of hit a bump in the road with our dog walking business. At the time, you know, the big thing was the economy's bad. That was just the overall theme at the time, you know, bad economy, nobody has any money. We actually fell behind a little bit on our rent, and at first he acted like he was going to be nice about it, but in the end he wasn't, and he kind of bullied us out of the apartment. We've been on the street now since then, it's been, good Lord, it's been almost 3 years.
I get people that go by and run their mouth and call me a homeless piece of shit or something like that. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what they say.
You know, nobody cares about them. You know, every year it's like we're losing 2, 3, 4, 5 people. They just die. They just die. They just die. Weather, whatever, overdoses. You know, nobody gives a fuck about them. You know, and then you know, the people like me, I feel I see ghosts everywhere. You know, and I feel very hurt, you know, walking around. You know, and my old friends are all gone. You know what I mean? It's hard. I mean, the way we survive out here, it's just horrible.
And people say, oh, why don't you go to the shelter? Because it's terrible. They treat you like a prisoner in those places. And a lot of the people that are in there are crazy and dangerous. Your stuff gets stolen. It's just, the benefits do not outweigh the problems of the shelter system, at least as far as I'm concerned. And I have a dog, you know, I can't bring the dog into a shelter. That's the main thing.
I mean, yeah, I could give him up and go stay in a shelter, but I won't do that. Like I said, I've had him for going on 3 years. I'm not about to give him up for anything. And not only on top of that, he's my seizure alert dog. I have cancer. I'm going through radiation and different stuff like that. And so there's different days that I go to the hospital. He goes with me. He's a service dog. He's my seizure alert dog, so he goes everywhere with me. He never leaves my side. If I didn't have him to let me know I'm going to go into a seizure, I could be dead by now. There's other people that tell me I don't deserve to have a dog out on the street. Well, and they don't seem to understand that. They seem to think that they're right about everything, and they're not.
People like give us a hard time a lot, and say mean things to us about him because they don't really understand, and they assume that we just don't feed him and that
we don't have water and stuff like that. Like, but I mean, even it doesn't even matter. Like, we can have like a big jug of water and a bag of food in front, like right on our sign, and people will still be like, feed your dog, or take him to the pound or something. I think people think that we just like picked him up recently and used him to make money or something. I think they don't realize that we've had him for 5 years.
I've had people telling me I'm drugging my dog. That's why she sleeps when she's, you know, when we're doing it. I've been accused of everything. You know, I don't even argue with them no more. I just yes them that go get a cop if that's how you feel. You know what I mean? I've had people try to take my dog, you know, talk me out of my dog. I've had it all. They try to steal her, buy her. I've had a guy offer me $1,000 for Bella. $1,000 cash. Never. Never. No. Never.
And people who've never been there really don't understand what being homeless is, or that it could happen to you. And until you've been through it, until you've seen it, until somebody you know steps over you and treats you like you're not a person, then you're never gonna know, you know? Yeah, and it's happened to me, and it could happen to you. And that's sad, but it's life.
You know, every day you think about getting out of the situation, what you have to do to get out of the situation, and it's a cycle that you get into, and it's hard to break out of it. And if you let things bother you, like what people say, how people act, how they treat you, or anything, if you let things get you down, then you're definitely not going to be able to get out of it, you know. So, you know, there's a lot of opportunities out there if you look for them, you know. But it's hard as a homeless person when you don't have a regular place to be cleaned up and what have you. You know, people tend to turn you away or make up excuses, you know, or why they can't give you a job or can't move in because of this and that, you know, and they're never straightforward about it, but you know the reasons why.
I don't like, panhandling. I hate it. It's so embarrassing to me. I never thought I would do that. I had a lot of friends for years that I know from downtown that would do that. You know, I would never do it, but When I had to do it myself, it was a big reality check. I'm not on drugs, you know, so I save my money, whatever I can make, you know, panhandling or side jobs. I do a lot of side jobs, like on Craigslist. I'll do painting jobs here and there. In the summer, it's a little easier because I can wash at a water fountain, you know, on the FDR or something. I work hard. You know, I work like a guy probably 22, and I'm 43. You know, but, you know, how hard can I work for, you know, how long can I do that? I'm already 43. You know, how much longer can I work hard like that? You know what I mean? I don't have nothing saved. There's nothing coming to me. It's a scary thought. It's a scary thing, man. Think about that. I mean, you know, what do you got to fall back on? That's the hard part, you know?
He takes better care of me than I do of him on the street. I sleep better at night. I don't ever have to worry. You know why? Because if somebody were to even turn and walk towards me, he wakes up. He'll wake up before I am. He'll let me know that somebody's trying to bother us. He might not attack them, but he'll bark, and he'll give them the impression that he's going to, you know? And that's all that I need.
Yeah, the first time we went swimming, we were in Richmond, Virginia. Oh man, dude, yeah, he swam for like 3 hours straight. It was awesome. And I jumped in the water, and he freaked out. He thought I was like, I don't know, he thought I was drowning or something. He tried to like get me. He tried to like save me. Cause I went under the water, you know what I mean? He freaked out and he grabbed my shirt and tried to pull me back up. You know, he thought I was drowning or something. I don't know, it was pretty funny.
Dogs really only care about, you know, their owner. It's basically all they want is to be around their human all the time, and that's what he gets. I've traveled by myself sometimes, and it's been really comforting to have my dog with me. Also, like, if I'm hitchhiking by myself or something, it's kind of, I think maybe it could be off-putting for somebody who didn't have good intentions towards me to pick up me and a dog. If they wanted to, you know, like, rape and murder me and dump my body somewhere, they might think twice before doing it with JJ there, you know?
I meet a lot of good people every day. There's still people in New York that have a heart. You know, there really is. I've had people give me $100 bills. Come on. You know what I mean? You can't beat that. You can't beat that. People don't have to do something like that. But they do it. They actually do it. Maybe they wouldn't if they didn't see Bella, but who cares now at this point? You know what I mean? Who cares at this point?
Outside basically all winter long last year in Chicago. And Chicago gets colder than here in the winter. And I survived perfectly fine there. So I'm pretty sure I can survive here. And as long as you lay cardboard and a tarp or something underneath you, it'll keep the cold out of you. It'll keep the cold from going from the concrete into your bones. And as long as you can do that, you'll stay warm. I've been traveling for 6 years, and I've been through the cold, I've been through the heat, and I've survived perfectly fine. So I'm pretty sure I can survive a winter in New York out on the streets if I have to.